Hi everyone, welcome to Korean Express YouTube channel. With this video, we are going to take a dive into the Korean grammar. As we all know, understanding Korean grammar is crucial for forming natural and fluent sentences. Now, in this lesson, we'll explore the Korean connecting particle ko, which is very widely used in daily conversation. Okay, as we all know, Korean particles they have a very essential place in Korean grammar. And today we are going to talk about a very important particle, ko. It is called a connecting particle. And believe me, when I say very important, it is really very important for us to understand the function of this particle. It is very commonly used and it has multiple uses. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's begin. So, first of all, what is the Korean particle ko? So, ko is a connecting particle in Korean that is used to link two clauses or two sentences together. Okay, very basic function. As its name suggests, it is a connecting particle. So, it connects two clauses or two sentences. All right, what it does, how it works, let's see. What happens is it attaches to the stem of a verb or adjective at the end of one clause. We all know that in Korean, the sentence or clause it ends in either a verb or adjective. Okay, so ko attaches to the stem of the verb or the adjective that is present at the end of the clause or the sentence, and then it connects it to the next clause or the next sentence. Okay, so suppose there are two sentences and you have to connect them together. What you'll do, you'll place ko in between these sentences. Okay, you'll attach ko to the stem of a verb or adjective of the first sentence, and then you will attach the second sentence to it. Okay, and this is very easy. This particle has several uses, as I said earlier, such as connecting two actions that happen simultaneously or in sequence. And it also links two adjectives that describe the same subject or joining two clauses with a similar idea in a sentence. Okay, so these are some of the uses of this particle ko. We are going to discuss about these uses one by one, and we'll see some example sentences to understand how to use ko in daily conversations. Okay, so this was just an introduction to this particle. It is a connecting particle which is used to connect two clauses or two sentences, and it is very easy to use this particle, believe me. Okay, now let's move ahead and let's discuss how to use ko in Korean sentences. So now the first usage of ko is for connecting two actions. The particle ko is used to connect two verbs or actions in a sentence. Okay? These actions can either happen in a sequence, one after the other, or simultaneously, depending on the context. Okay, very important. So, ko is used to connect two verbs or two actions that either happen in a sequence, one after the other, or happen simultaneously at the same time. So, when the actions happen in sequence, that is one after the other, then ko can be understood as then in English. Okay, ko is translated as then in English when it is used to connect two actions that are happening one after the other. And when the actions happen at the same time, that is simultaneously, or they are just being listed together, there is no sequence, then ko works like and. The translation of ko is and in English. Okay, now don't worry what this means or how is it going to work. We are going to go through some example sentences to understand how is it used in connecting to verbs or to actions and how to frame a complete sentence using this particle. Here we go. Look at the first example. I ate breakfast, then went to school. So basically, think of it this way, like there are two sentences. I ate breakfast, full stop. I went to school. Okay, now you have to connect these two sentences. You use the particle ho. Now, here, first you had your breakfast and then you went to school. So, obviously, first action comes first. Then you attach the particle ho to the verb stem and then you link or you attach the second clause or sentence to this first sentence. Okay, I hope you're getting this. I ate breakfast, then went to school. 저는 아침을 먹고 학교에 갔어요. Very simple. Next, I will exercise for 10 minutes, then take a shower. 저는 10분 동안 운동하고 샤워할 거예요. I will exercise for 10 minutes. 저는 I 10분 동안 for 10 minutes. To exercise, 운동하다. Now, you are seeing that, okay, there is another clause attached to the sentence. What you're going to do? You're going to attach the particle ko to the verb stem. To exercise in Korean is 운동하다. So, stem is 운동하. You attach the particle go to it and then you link the second sentence or the second clause, that is take a shower. So it is 운동하고 and then after exercising, what you'll do? I will take a shower. Future tense, 샤워할 거예요. Okay, this is how it works. You connect it to clauses or to sentences using the particle ko. And here the translation of ko is then. One action is happening after another action. Okay, in a sequence. Next is I drank milk and watched TV. Now here you are performing two actions simultaneously. There is no sequence. Okay, here the translation of go is going to be and. So you drank milk and at the same time you also watched TV. So 저는 우유를 마시고 텔레비전을 봤어요. I drank milk. 저는 우유를 마시다. Now, look, you have to attach another clause to this particular clause, the first one. 마시다, remove the stem is left with you. 마시, attach go to it. 저는 우유를 마시고 I watched TV. 텔레비전을 봤어요. Okay, this is very simple. Once you know the format for using a particle, it becomes very easy for you to frame sentences. Now look at this next example. I cleaned the house and listened to music. So you cleaned the house and at the same time you listened to music. 저는 집을 청소하고 음악을 들었어요. Now, I cleaned the house. 저는 집을 청소하. You have to attach another clause to it, that is, I listened to music. So what you do is 청소하고. You attach the particle 고 to this verb stem. Okay? And then you link or attach the second clause, that is, I listen to music. 음악을 들었어요. Okay, so this is how it works. You can frame as many sentences as you want. Just learn the concept, understand how to use this particle, and then it will be super easy for you to frame sentences. Okay, so here the first two examples indicate ko being used as then in Korean sentences where one action is happening after other. And in the last two examples, you noticed that ko is translated as and in sentences where the actions are happening at the same time. Okay? All right. Now let's move ahead and look at the next usage of ko. The particle ko is used to link two adjectives that describe the same subject or join two clauses with a similar idea in a sentence. Okay, so basically, we learned how to use the particle ko to link two verbs. Now, let's learn how to use it to link two adjectives that are describing the same subject. All right, let's move ahead. Look at these examples. The weather is hot and humid. Now, here, think of this sentence as a combination of two sentences. You can say the weather is hot, the weather is humid. Now, what you did is you combined these two sentences into one, hot and humid. Hot and humid both are adjectives. Okay, so what you did is you linked two adjectives using this particle, and you can think of it like this, that you linked two different clauses or sentences into one sentence. The weather is hot, the weather is humid. One sentence, the weather is hot and humid. Okay? Think of it this way. Now in Korean, this is going to be 날씨가 덥고 습해요. Weather is 날씨. The adjective hot, 덥다. Humid, 습하다. Hot and humid, 덥고 습해요. Okay, you attach the particle ko to the stem of the first adjective. Very simple. Next example is that woman is smart and pretty. Now again, there are two adjectives, smart and pretty. They are connected together. So, 그 여자는 똑똑하고 예뻐요. That woman, 그 여자. To be smart, 똑똑하다. To be pretty, 예쁘다. Connecting both of them in present tense becomes 똑똑하고 예뻐요. Smart and pretty. Very simple. You connected two adjectives describing the same subject in a sentence using the particle ko. Alright? Now comes a very important note. Usually, when using ko to connect two clauses, we just add it to the verb or adjective stem without conjugating it. Okay, in all the examples that we have just seen right now, what we did is we attached ko to the verb or adjective stem. Okay, and we never conjugated it. We just attached it to the stem. Simple. The tense of the sentence, the complete sentence, is shown in the second clause. And we understand the tense of the first action from the context. Okay, it is very easy. You indicate the tense of the sentence in the second clause, and it becomes easy for you to understand the tense of the first action or the first clause with the help of the context. Okay, if you don't get this, go back, look at all these examples that we have just seen right now. You'll understand what I mean. Okay, so the thing that I want to tell you here is that the first verb or the first adjective is not conjugated. You just attach ko to the verb or adjective stem. But sometimes the first verb is conjugated before ko. Okay, this happens. There are two common situations where you can see this. So let's take a look at them. Here, first one is when you connect two past actions with similar ideas. So, two actions happened in the past, and there's no need for them to be in a particular order. Okay, just both actions happened. For example, last month I went to South Korea and also studied a lot of Korean. So, what are the two actions that happened in the past? In last month. Last month is your past. So, what are the two actions? First one is you went to South Korea. And the second action that happened is you studied a lot of Korean, right? So, there is no need for them to be in a particular order. Okay, you cannot order them. Just look that they happened in the past. Okay, and now you have to connect them using ko. In this case, what you do is you conjugate the first verb. Let's look at this sentence. 지난달에 한국에 갔고 한국어도 많이 공부했어요. Here, last one is 지난달. South Korea, 한국. Now to go is 가다, past tense, 갔어요. Okay, now as I said, you have to conjugate the first verb. Okay, so in past tense, the first verb is 갔다. The stem is gat. So you have to touch go to it, it becomes 갔고. Okay, this is how it works. I know it's a little bit tiring, but you have to remember this. It's kind of an exception that happens. All right, and then comes the remaining part of the sentence. Also studied a lot of Korean. 한국어도 많이 공부했어요. Okay, so when two actions happen in the past without any order, then you connect them using the particle ko, but the first action has to be conjugated in the past tense. Okay, now next situation where the first action or the first verb is conjugated is when there is a time gap between two actions. The first action happens, time passes, and then the second one happens. The first action may have helped make the second one possible. Okay, so it may be possible that the first action was responsible for the occurrence of the second action. So, if two actions are happening, but there is a time gap between them, then in that case, you conjugate the first action. Let's look at this example. I learned cooking and then opened a restaurant. So, you learned cooking for some time, and then after some time, you opened a restaurant. So, there is a time gap between these two actions. Therefore, you're going to conjugate the first action or the first verb, that is 배우다 in past tense. 배웠다. Okay, and here you have to attach ko to this conjugated form, conjugated stem. 저는 요리를 배웠고 식당을 열었어요. Okay, I learned cooking, then opened a restaurant. So, this is how it works. These are the two situations when you conjugate the first verb while using the particle ko to connect two clauses or two sentences. Okay, so in this video, we learned about a very important Korean particle, ko, which is a connecting particle in Korean language, and it helps to connect two clauses or two sentences. I hope you liked this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe Korean Express YouTube channel. Thank you.